Welcome, investigator. Evil is on the rise. Crime is escalating. Our mission is to eliminate the crime by exposing evil, examine why it manifests, and highlight the brave souls that confront it every day. Join us as we work together to bring justice to every victim. Welcome to All Things Crime. Here's your host, Jared Bradley.
Hey guys, it's Jared. I am in Glasgow, Scotland, and man, what an absolutely beautiful country. Out taking a little jog here. Thought I'd rest for a second. Had some thoughts I wanted to throw out, and I'll tell you, if you ever get a chance to visit Scotland, you absolutely need to do it. Put it on your bucket list, because this place is nothing beyond gorgeous. I don't know what these flowers are right here behind me, but man, they're incredible. Anyway, this is my gym this morning. Had to actually wait a little bit so it would warm up. I think it's a high of 68 today. Right now it's about 57 degrees, so that's why I got my jacket on. My friends in Florida are probably wondering what kind of a crazy place this is. That I think we're lucky if we get up to 70 degrees some of all the days that I've been here. So in addition to some of the things that I have planned and already on the schedule, I'm going to be doing some cold calling. So never done that in a foreign country, but you know, they say all we are is separated by a little pond and a common language. And I'm getting this Scottish accent, I think. I probably butcher it, but it's sure fun. I have a lot of ancestry from Scotland, both the Glasgow and the Edinburgh area. Actually related to Robert the Bruce, if you go back far enough. Of course, I think anyone with Scottish heritage pretty much is, I think. But regardless, I wanted to throw out some quick thoughts here. The interesting thing about travel is you find yourself occupying, there's only so much work you can actually do. And how's this for a meadow? Pretty amazing, huh? For those of you that aren't watching or that are just listening to this, you need to go over to my YouTube channel, All Things Crime, or Rumble, and you can see the video of this, because it's pretty amazing. What an absolute beautiful country, especially on the west coast where all the locks are. And if you go up, I mean, you could go up forever. I can't make it up too much further past the Glasgow area. I drove about an hour north to some of the mountains up there, and geez, amazing. I'm going to be putting some of those on my travel channel, so if you're interested in that, let me know. All right, my thoughts, all things crime related. So as it comes, when you're traveling, you find yourself doing, movies and things like that. There's only so much time you can spend at the restaurant, talking to people. They have the things that they need to be doing too. And so last night I was kind of going through a little bit of Netflix, and I thought I'd just watch an old movie, and it's one of my favorites. It's called The Peacemaker. And if you've ever seen that, it stars Nicole Kidman and George Clooney. It's fun watching them, in an older movie. They're just phenomenal actors. And but they play, so especially George Clooney plays a lieutenant colonel who's a special ops guy, but he specializes in international terrorism, nuclear bombs, that kind of thing, being transported from what used to be the old Soviet Empire into, because you remember 1992, that was only 7 years after the Soviet Union broke up. And back then, I remember I was still in the military, and there were a ton of nuclear weapons that were not really safeguarded. I actually talked to a guy one time that it was his job to go into the Soviet Union. Wow, some of these trails are just unreal. Yeah, how's that for a nice gym, huh? Anyway, his job was to go into the Soviet Union and help them to get rid of some of the nuclear weapons they had. And he said literally he would get trucked out to this place and out in the middle of nowhere, and before he knew it, he was before he knew it, he was in front of this old shack. And he said literally this old shack had a rickety door that a 3-year-old could kick down, and from there it was actually the door was secured. It had 2 little pieces of twine on it and 2 nails, one on the door and one on the frame. And this door was secured with these little pieces of twine. And behind it, literally, were nuclear or chemical or biological weapons. And that's all the security they had. And so, you wonder how many thousands of nukes the Russians have, even now. But back then, at the height of the Cold War, the best security they had for some of those weapons were a piece of twine and a couple of nails. So, yeah, there's room for concern for sure. And the interesting thing is, back in 1992, when they made this movie, Tom DeVoe was playing this Spec Ops lieutenant colonel, and he was doing all sorts of things, running around, trying to get rid of some of these terrorists. But again, with the nuclear weapons being such a concern, in the movie, Nicole Kidman plays the acting director over. I'm not sure what the office is called, but essentially she's a nuclear weapons PhD, doctor type, and it's her responsibility to help. She's the actual agency. I'm not sure if she's with the State Department or National Security, but anytime any kind of a nuclear threat or terrorist threat comes into the country, it's their office to coordinate everything. And so she, her and Tom DeVoe are chasing these terrorists that have one nuclear weapon stolen from Russia with the help of a corrupt Russian general. And probably won't be going down that one, at least not while I'm recording. Anyway, I'll finish this up. But the key is both Nicole Kidman and George Clooney play these amazing actors, and some of the stuff they do, including these 3 helicopters do a aerial assault into Russia to intercept this truck that's got these 10 nuclear weapons on it, or 9 nuclear weapons supposedly. And it's just awesome. I mean, obviously being a military guy, I love this kind of stuff, but it's just the entire movie is based around these heroes and these heroines that save society from a nuclear bomb going off in New York. And that's actual real. I mean, the movie may be fiction, but the scenario is 100% legit. And it's just so interesting how often Hollywood bases, they'll find some kind of a crazy scenario that is based on fact and write a script around it. And, the people just eat that stuff up. Well, why? That's my question. And that's one of the things that I want to get to with this episode is, why would people respond so amazingly to an action film where you have manly men and strong women, people making decisions? They're decisive, they're bold, they're taking risk, they're out there and they're doing things that is not self-aggrandizing, but it's more, they're doing it because of service to the country. They're doing it for, love of each other, the camaraderie, the, supporting each other. And I'll tell you, there's very few places that happens as strongly as it does in the military, in the police agencies, in the fire departments, places where these first responder type of, they're put in danger on a daily basis, and there's very few places where you can get that kind of camaraderie. And why? It's because those are the heroes of society, and it's not by accident that there are certain groups that are working so hard to demoralize and to try to take these people out of society. And they're, the defund the police movement is the first one that comes to mind. And but even I as a veteran, I never served in Afghanistan, but I'll tell you, the guys that I've talked to that have, what happened when we pulled out of Afghanistan, not only did we, it was just an absolute lie that the Afghani forces were ready to take on the Taliban. And I think most importantly, because there's no sense of nationalism there. There's no sense of actually fighting for the country. I mean, some people have it, but the entire country won't stand up and fight for their country. But the Taliban, who are very religiously motivated, they have something to fight for. And so when they inherited, basically, from the administration, the $85 billion worth of high-tech weaponry, and what was there, 343,000 automatic weapons, M4s and machine guns and saws and all sorts of stuff, that just absolutely incredible that we would leave all that equipment behind. I mean, there's probably enough thermite grenades we could have thrown on all that equipment if you didn't have the capacity to bring it home, which wouldn't have been that big a deal. But all we'd have to do is just destroy it, and if nothing else, just leave it there. But you don't leave equipment that could fall into enemy hands. $85 billion worth of equipment, and it's so difficult. I mean, Black Hawk helicopters, and anyway, back to the movie. There's a reason the society loves heroes, and we have to acknowledge who those heroes are. And I don't care if it's your family. If your family is asleep in their beds and a fire breaks out, well, guess what? Somebody's going to step up. Somebody's going to run into a room that's on fire and rescue the children. Somebody is going to make sure that, and it might be the mom. Maybe the mom is the one that does it. But I guarantee from that, all of society would celebrate that person that did that. And it's because we love heroes. And we love people that it's almost like they belong to the warrior class. And we have to have warriors throughout society. If you think of all the way back to the Roman days, even before that, and here in Scotland, everything from the Highlanders that, William Wallace type. Well, what is it about, those type of inspirational people, those people that are so committed to a cause, they're so committed to their country, and so committed especially to freedom. I bought a t-shirt at the Bannockburn Memorial, or the Bannockburn, it's a tourist site. It's where Robert the Bruce posted his flag and fought King Edward I, his Northern Army, just outside of Stirling, and they call it the Bannockburn. I know I'm not pronouncing that with the Scottish accent, but anyway, it's absolutely incredible. And I'm going to have a video of all of that up on my travel channel. The link will be in the comments. But anyway, everything about it, we celebrate these warrior class. And you have to have warriors that are willing to stand up and defend your country, or stand up and defend your family, stand up and defend your city. That's what competition is all about. And if you look at what Hollywood does, periodically they get it right. But every time they make a movie, you look at Top Gun Maverick right now, it's all about the warrior. It's all about the hero. It's all about the man or the woman who is willing to get into a cockpit and go, fly this incredibly dangerous mission and, risk their own lives. But they do it not just for their country, but they do it for each other. And that kind of nationalism, that kind of dedication to each other and to, self-sacrifice in order for the greater good is just absolutely what society and what mankind is all about. And if we completely demoralize and completely take out our warrior class, which includes the police, folks, if you have law enforcement friends or somebody that you meet on the street, you see somebody in uniform, go thank them, go shake their hand and say, hey, we appreciate you serving, we appreciate you being here for us. And because if we get rid of all of our warriors, guess what? The only people that will have warriors are the enemy, and that means people that don't like freedom, people that don't like Western society, and trust me, they are out there. If you look at what Russia is doing with Ukraine right now, it's all about taking over other countries, and Vladimir Putin has clearly lost it, but it doesn't matter. He's doing it, and without the warriors of the Ukrainian people, that country would have fallen a long time ago. But instead, they have people that are standing up. And ironically, it's interesting that the first thing that they did was start issuing weapons to the general population. And you see pictures of grandmothers that are practicing shooting an AK-47. Why would she do that? It's because she loves her country, she loves her people, loves her family, and she's willing to risk her own life and defend it. And that's the type of people that we need. And I know that right now in society, especially in the US, I think it's insane that we are just trying to ostracize anybody that is willing to fight for the country, and anybody that's willing to serve. And it just makes no sense to me. If you don't want men to do it, then find the Amazons and find the women that'll do it, because somebody has to defend society. And if it's not the police and the fire and the other first responders, our military, figure out who it is, because if we all go to this kumbaya type society, crime is just going to continue to get worse. And you can't ignore it forever, because eventually it'll start hitting even the elites and the upper class. We have to protect our warrior class, guys, and support them. And if you don't want to become one, that's fine, but support those that do, and that are willing to love the country. And this isn't just in the U.S., but this is anywhere. I love people that actually love their own country. And it was fun being here in Scotland, seeing all the people that were celebrating the Queen's Jubilee. It's not so much here in Scotland as it is down in London area especially, but there's British flags everywhere, and people are celebrating their country. They're celebrating their queen, and means a lot different things than what it means in the U.S. But we have to be proud of the people that are willing to stand up and defend the country. So, all right, guys, hope everything's well, and hope you have an awesome week. Talk to you later.
Thanks for joining us. Your attention today brings us one step closer to exposing and eliminating the evil that brings crime to our communities. Hit subscribe and share this episode. Together, we will bring justice to every victim.